Williams has been hot all night, falling away, got it! 40 points for Jalen Williams.
It seems like the Oklahoma City Thunder have finally figured Indiana Pacers out. 2 straight games they have showed answers to everything Rick Carlisle has thrown at them. So let's break down what went on in an amazing Game 5 in Oklahoma and why it's looking like the NBA MVP will win the title in the same year for the first time since Steph Curry did it in 2015. Already, the first possession of this game was another great example of how both teams, 2 completely different game styles, are trying to impose their strengths on one another. Indiana with their quick and stacking actions offensively, OKC with their defensive speed and rotation. Spin down for Haliburton into pitch for Turner. Dort here fights over the handoff, preventing it, but the Pacers slow into a pick and roll. Nembhard beats Williams' under with speed, Hartenstein comes over, but watch OKC Xing out to eliminate the advantage on the weak side, and then Chet staying still on a closeout knowing Miles is a terrible 1 of 17 in the finals from the top. Another pick gets Nesmith a shot, but he misses, and this is why these finals have been amazing. We are seeing elite level of basketball on both sides of the court. Another textbook defensive possession here. Lou Dort fights through the elevator to deny Haliburton. Just to get the ball against OKC is an issue. On the pick, OKC switch, looking to negate the opponent's actions with foot speed. On the pick and pop, Williams late switches, but still gets beaten. But no worries, the man, the legend, Alex Caruso is there to peel switch. J-Dub takes Nembhard, who is forced to dribble it once instead of a spot-up shot. Okay, some missed shots early can happen, but Indiana's turnovers were, of course, the main key in Game 5. Not surprising really, considering OKC's defense, but 32-9 difference in points from turnovers is a huge one in the NBA Finals.
Here early second, Wiggins lines it up, knocks it down.
Here, after Shai's free throw, Haliburton simply pushes ahead with an outlet pass. Siakam looks to attack Chet while OKC's defense is not set and just fumbles the ball. 2 Indiana's defenders are out of the picture. Holmgren's sprint here takes Turner away while Nesmith stops the ball, leaving Jalen Williams alone. The next turnover was a bit more forced than the first one. First, watch how high Hartenstein forces Siakam to receive it. That makes him think he can drive, but it's also a longer distance and more room for error. Great hands by the German here, then Shai slows down in a 3v2 situation, but Isaiah gets cross-matched against Nembhard in transition. Haliburton is guarding Williams, but probably sees another Thunder player open here, and J-Dub's cut is on point on time.
2 gorgeous assists from Hartenstein.
2 dunks for him to get going and to feel good, and the Pacers now have another problem. We are only 5 minutes into the match, Indiana are already down by 8 points, and a huge, even worse problem happens for them. 2 screens to choose for Hali to attack here, trying to get Dort away from him, but instead of Shai to the right, he uses Toppin's pick, and it's an ISO versus Chet. OKC load up on both sides to tighten the driving gaps. That forces Tyrese to do it all himself, and he falls down, aggravating a leg injury. He was visibly in pain and not himself for the rest of the match, staying mostly away from action as a decoy since OKC face guarded him in this series. It made the Pacers play mostly 4v4, but is it really a big help when you lose your best creator against the fastest NBA defense? On the other side, all series long, Indiana Pacers are picking up shai-gilgeous-alexander full court. They are either trying to deny him from receiving the ball completely or just simply trying to get Shai tired. So here is what OKC counters with. Not only Shai gives up the ball here, but also Jalen Williams passes it up to Hartenstein. While those 2 are guarded in the backcourt, the German hands it off to Chet. It looks like a 3v3 FIBA game rather than 5v5, and also this is how basketball has evolved. 2 tallest men on the OKC's team play pick and roll and score off of that. Nesmith then makes a free, and watch Nembhard immediately saying hi there to SGA. Chet takes the point guard's role here, and Siakam picks him up only at half court. Then he passes it up to Hartenstein, and it should be an off-ball screen between Williams and Shai here, cause Jalen even points for Shai to come up, but J-Dub reads it perfectly and cuts against aggressive defense. You're watching Chet, Williams scoring on these possessions, but Isaiah Isaiah Hartenstein has a finger on each of these plays. Williams' pull-up here is no good, and guess who? Yeah, Isaiah is there once again to tap this one back. Cason Wallace relocates to the corner, nobody follows him because it's chaos everywhere, and it's 3 more points for OKC. Later, after another drive from Williams here, Indiana once again pushed the pace, and Toppin looks to have a wide open dunk here. But Tony Bradley pushes Hartenstein, who does a great job of trying to go in front here, and sells the contact. In another semi-transition for OKC, Hartenstein is cross-matched against Halley, and Bradley guards smaller Williams. Caruso flows into a split action quickly, defense go over, Toppin does not expect a switch, and it's another J-dub dunk off of Hartenstein's pass.
Beautiful cut and finish. Jalen Williams with the flush.
So that's like what? 11 points that Hartenstein helped create OKC in the first half. Another question for OKC was how to get Shai some easier baskets. Cause yeah, he can make a bunch of these ISO mid-ranges, but that's not given in every game in a long run on every night. How to get him some more open driving lanes when he's guarded full court. Indiana scores a bucket here, and Nembhard immediately runs to SGA. There is no time to relax in this series for both teams. These are elite athletes playing at the highest level, so OKC just starts pick and rolling. Does not matter how far from the rim they are. It takes pressure off of Shai, and then it's another one at almost half court to now really attack Miles Turner. He thinks he has SGA stopped, but guard keeps on attacking. Siakam is deep in the paint to help, and Chet gets a wide open look. Every time Hartenstein saw Shai pressured, he set a pick. Here the German catches Nembhard off guard, plus Turner is on the wrong side, and for the MVP, it does not really matter. Indiana are nexting as he drives around Siakam as well for 2. Let's see one more example of this. OKC simply uses Turner's defender to make it easier for Shai, and then it's a real pick. Look, it's almost at half court, so Shai has so much more space and length to accelerate against slower Miles. Even McConnell, who guards Dort, can get there in time to prevent Shai from getting fouled here. All of these OKC answers to Indiana created an 18-point lead for them in the first half. But Indiana, as they do in these playoffs, did not give up and cut the deficit to 2 with 8.5 remaining in the fourth.
Puts up a 3. It's good. Pascal Siakam from downtown. It's a 2-point game.
Knowing that teams who win Game 5 when the finals were tied at 2-2 have gone on to win 74% of the series, Indiana knew it's their moment. However, just when it seemed the momentum was shifting towards the visitors, OKC once again showed they have the answers. And in those crucial possessions, OKC went back to what worked for them in Game 4 in Indiana in clutch. Screening game between SGA and Jalen Williams, but this time OKC played even smarter. Because you see that Jalen is slipping the screen here, that allows Shai a bunch of space to drive right. Halliburton is there for the next defense, but since Caruso is in the dunker spot, Dort is wide open and makes Indiana pay. Next possession down, they go for Spain action with Jalen with the ball initiating and Shai as the back screener. It is a bit slow due to Nesmith's harassing defense up top, but SGA brings Nembhard into the picture, and he is just too small against Williams, who had a career night just at the right time. Later, after Indiana's turnover, Shai sees Nesmith in front of him immediately. That's a matchup he likes, so you can see him waving off Chet at first, and then he just passes it out with Nembhard sitting at the nail. Good luck closeouting this long against a guy who had 40.
Off the glass, it's good. He did it again.
It took OKC only 3 minutes to kill Indiana's hopes of stealing the home court again, from +2 to +14 in only 180 seconds. And it's always about the turnover battle for OKC. They forced twice as much errors as they committed themselves in Game 5. Neither Halliburton nor Siakam are involved here in this possession, and Nembhard catches the ball here. OKC are denying everywhere, risky pass turns into a 1v0 for OKC, and Cason Wallace slams it.
And throws it down. Cason Wallace with a bucket. Timeout.
A lot of switching went on in this game and on this possession with Chet at the 5 for the Thunder. Halley felt maybe Nembhard was open here, but it's Dort in front of him. It's not the matchup I or the Pacers like. Help comes, he jumps to pass, and Shai is perfectly in between the two defenders. And just like that, 5 points created off turnovers in 2 possessions, and that was not even the end of it. Indiana called for timeout, trying to weather the storm, and this is what happens after it. They try to go for this flip back play to Siakam, as the idea is to get him going downhill to his right hand. But here is that man again. Alex Caruso plays the passing lane perfectly, dives on it when Siakam does not, and puts Oklahoma one win away from the NBA title.
The smothering, suffocating defense strikes again.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, of course, don't forget to press like and subscribe to our channel. That would help us grow faster. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.